And here was the thing. Some deep pockets, a pregnant woman, some bodyguards, and a doctor's name.
The Way of the Gun is directed by Christopher McQuarrie. And if you don't know who Christopher McQuarrie is, then clearly you have not seen any of the previous Mission Impossible movies. Before Christopher McQuarrie was recruited by Tom Cruise, he was known as the man who wrote the screenplay for the popular film that was released in 1995 called The Usual Suspects.
Hand me the keys, you fucking cocksucker.
Number 2, step forward.
After his success with the film called The Usual Suspects, Christopher McQuarrie thought that a lot of doors would open for him in Hollywood, but apparently he was dead wrong. McQuarrie tried his best to work and cooperate with the studio system within Hollywood and produce a film on his own terms, but apparently the Hollywood system didn't want Christopher McQuarrie to direct anything that wasn't within their control. So, during a coffee meeting one time that McQuarrie had with one of the stars of The Usual Suspects film, Benicio del Toro, McQuarrie had mentioned to Del Toro that he wanted to move away from the crime genre kinds of films and branch off into something else. And so Del Toro encouraged him to make another crime film, but to make it on his own terms. So McQuarrie took that information to heart and started to produce his own film, which is what we have here, called The Way of the Gun. Now, The Way of the Gun is not your average typical film. I mean, Christopher McQuarrie doesn't make average typical kinds of films anyway, but with this film here, The Way of the Gun, Christopher McQuarrie's directorial debut, The Way of the Gun kicks off with our two main characters played by Benicio del Toro and Ryan Phillippe, Parker and Longbaugh.
You want to do the man dance? First dance is yours.
Now, at some point, it became clear to us that our path had been chosen and we had nothing to offer the world. Our options narrowing down to petty crime or minimum wage. So, we stepped off the path.
These two characters, Parker and Longbaugh, are not very likable. Now, I enjoy this kind of film immediately because not only do I think it's funny and not only does it get me interested in the journey of these two characters.
Listen to me! Get off the car with your ass!
Shut that mouth or I'll come over there and start her head.
Within the first few seconds, you will decide whether you love this film or not, or if it's the kind of film for you. And I will say that I don't think this is the kind of film that's meant for everybody. Because from the beginning, it's very vulgar, it's very taboo, and it's nasty, and that's what Christopher McQuarrie set out to do. So like I said, within the first few seconds, you will determine whether this is your cup of tea or not. And for me, I'm into the wild, crazy shit, so let's go!
For the record, I'll call myself Mr. Parker. My associate will be Mr. Longbaugh.
I just asked if you were heterosexual. I've never killed a man. I beg your pardon? I said I've never killed a man. I didn't ask if you had. You asked why I thought I was qualified. I think of that as qualification.
And I'm just wondering why that in particular strikes you as an important qualification for semen
I
donation.
would say that's a big fucking qualification. Excuse me, a very important qualification.
I like it a lot. No one's ever said that before.
You ever asked?
No.
You should.
They go into a sperm bank trying to get some quick cash. And this is one of the funniest scenes in the film, especially with Benicio del Toro.
Nobody brings up sex with dead people.
Of course I don't. It's sick.
You brought it up.
To say I never did it.
I didn't ask that.
You should.
Are you a faggot?
Any trace of mental illness in the family?
It's not what you say anymore, is it? It's all in how you say it.
And it just so happens that Parker and Longbow, as they are sitting in the lobby of the sperm bank, they overhear a conversation in the background about some woman named Robin and being a surrogate mother for some rich couple who is paying her $1 million. So Parker and Longbow come up with this great idea to kidnap this woman named Robin, who is played by the phenomenal Juliette Lewis.
You're gonna be a good father, Mr. Chittick. She's gonna be a good mother, you'll see.
Unfortunately for our two criminals, Robin is heavily guarded and protected by two bodyguards played by Taye Diggs and Nikki Katt. We are also introduced to another character, Dr. Alan Painter, who is played by Dylan Kussman.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
This is my favorite part of the movie, the shootout scene, but it is played brilliantly. This shows Christopher McQuarrie's craftsmanship. He knows how to build suspense. You know, you think it's going to be a loud action scene like most action films, but no, it's quiet. It's beautiful. You're tense. It's emotional. You're invested. You're like, what's about to happen? And the pace of it is very slow, but it builds that suspense. It's a slow-paced suspense. I don't know how to describe it, but I love it.
Fuck are you doing? You're supposed to be protecting her.
Oh, fuck. What'd I tell you?
Walk away. Just walk away. They don't care about dying, just losing. You're not gonna make it out of here alive. You know, somebody could call the cops by now. You know they're gonna come.
I've never seen anything like this before. It's like tactical. It's tactical action. I will say, besides the unique confrontational shootouts, the story in this film is a bit convoluted. There's way too much going on in this film. Like, it goes over my head sometimes. Like, honestly, I had to watch this film and watch certain scenes like 3 or 4 times because I'm slow and stupid. I couldn't understand what was really happening here. I think it's too messy, too much plot, too much story going on for its own good. There are certain parts where there's like heavy dialogue, a lot of twisty, turny shit, a lot of mysteries that you need to solve, a lot of...
There's a lot more going on in that room than you were seeing. You don't have the eyes for it. You follow?
We meet more characters. Holy cow, there is a large cast of characters in this movie, but they are important.
I missed you.
Francesca, who is played by Christian Lehman, and her husband, the wealthy man who is paying up the $1 million, Hal Chidduck, who is played by Scott Wilson.
I would never ask you to trust me. It's the cry of a guilty soul.
Twisty, windy situation. Taye Diggs' character is secretly having an affair with his boss's wife, Francesca, for whatever reason. There's like this other mystery going on with Dr. Alan Painter and him going to Baltimore and going on a hiatus and doing something stupid and then asking his father, Hal Chudduck, for money. And now Hal Chudduck says, oh son, now you owe me a debt, and they won't reveal that. So what the hell's with this Baltimore thing?
Quite frankly, because after what happened in Baltimore, you were for sale.
I feel bad for Dr. Alan Painter, man. Everybody is just bullying this guy.
Son, sit down.
Move your hand.
And then we meet the great, phenomenal, legendary James Caan, who plays Joe. I can't remember his last name.
I'm Joe Sano.
And not only that, Taye Diggs and his partner Nikki Katt work out a plan to kill Dr. Alan Painter, deliver the baby, kill James Caan's character, and deliver the baby and the money to their boss. At least I think that's what the plan is, because when I first saw the movie I was confused. I was thinking they're going to kill everybody and steal the money. But then I'm like, why would you steal the money? Because your boss is going to be looking for you.
The doctor gets shot in the fray.
Right.
We tried to help him, but it was either him or the baby.
And then what we discover with Scott Wilson's character, Hal Chuddock, who is the boss here, he borrowed the $1 million that he gave to Robin from some mafia gangsters, and now that he's in this kidnapping situation, he can't pay the ransom, because if he gets the cops involved or if he pays the ransom, the mafia gangsters are gonna kill him and his family. So this is just hella complicated, man. There's just so much crap going on here.
They'll kill us. People I'm in business with. Money I have leads back to them.
And for me and my slow brain, it's a little hard to follow and for me to catch up.
There's a lot more going on in that room than you were seeing. You don't have the eyes for it. You follow?
Now I know you're expecting a Western, a modern day Western. There should be a ton of shootouts, ton of intense moments, and there is, but they're so far and few in between. We have to deal with all this twisty, windy stuff, character manipulations, character betrayals, and but I find that the most interesting parts of the film are the intimate parts between characters. Like we have a scene where James Caan's character interacts with Benicio del Toro's character, and they have a heart-to-heart conversation.
It's like these days they want to be criminals more than they want to commit crime.
But that's not just crime. That's the way of the world.
And then we have another beautiful moment between Parker, Longbaugh, and Robin, where they play a card game and they talk about, you know, your heart and where your heart is at. And then Juliette Lewis's character confesses why she's doing what she's doing, why she's taking the $1 million. And it just builds more mystery. So now you got to put the pieces together. But she confesses and she cries, and Juliette Lewis, mwah, I love you. You're a phenomenal actor.
It's $1 million cash, and I needed it for... That's what it was.
So even though at a certain point in the film, you know, you're like, where's the action at? What's with all this twisty, windy stuff? You kind of get a little bored. There are some nice, beautiful, intimate moments to be had here. Now we are introduced to yet another character who is played by Jeffrey Lewis. And it's funny that Christopher McQuarrie didn't set out to make a neo-noir type of Western film, and it just so happened to be that way. But yeah, he casts the great Jeffrey Lewis, who is known to be in a lot of Clint Eastwood Western kind of films. Like, he and Clint Eastwood were best friends. But man, Jeffrey Lewis here, iconic. And also, he's Juliette Lewis's father. That is crazy. I didn't know that.
You just bring me back my baby.
Don't do it. Come get in the car.
Everyone's being shot at. Everyone's shooting guns. Guns. Everybody gets shot. Jeffrey Lewis's character escapes. Taye Diggs takes Dr. Alan Painter and Juliette Lewis away with him. His partner gets shot, but he's not dead. Parker and Longbaugh grab Nikki Katt's character and they torture him to figure out where they took Juliette Lewis's character. And now we have the final sequence, what we've all been waiting for.
Not a place we can go until it's safe. Trust me.
I would never ask you to trust me. It's the cry of a guilty soul.
Now, apparently, Christopher McQuarrie's brother is a Navy SEAL, and he helped him choreograph some of the shootout sequences in this film. Now, I don't know anything about realistic shooting. I mean, I went to a gun range and shot a couple pistols, couple rifles here and there, but I've never been in an actual gunfight, so I don't know how that all maps out. but he went to his brother laid out a map for him, and they worked it out. And I will say that watching a lot of these action sequences, especially the ending action sequences, is perfect. It really just kicks into high gear. Even if you were probably falling asleep during the middle portion of this film like I was, the action scenes towards the end will wake your ass up. And then my man Taye Diggs gets shot. And Dr. Alan Painter is no longer a coward.
Fatality.
James Caan and Jeffrey Lewis have a heart-to-heart moment that is also kind of funny.
The time that we... Oh, jeez. What's... Oh, I'm dying, Joe. I remember that time that...
Nasty, man. That is just nasty. Ooh-wee, that's gonna get infected. He's scratching, he's clawing, the music intensifies. Is he gonna make it? One last bagman with a shotgun, Benicio del Toro shooting at James Caan, James Caan hiding behind the window, Benicio del Toro trying to reload his gun to save his friend in time. James Caan's characters show Benicio del Toro and Ryan Phillippe's characters absolute remorse. And more twisty, windy stuff. James Caan character and everybody else discovers that Dr. Alan Painter is the father of Juliette Lewis's baby. So when he went to Baltimore, he got Juliette Lewis's character pregnant, and then I guess she wanted the $1 million, so she decided to give up her baby to Dr. Alan Painter's father, and whatever. I don't understand, make no sense to me.
Baltimore simply taught me who I am. As for what I am, I learned all about the value of human life from you.
Parker and Longbaugh didn't die, and it's a funny ending because the movie ends kind of the same way it begins. It began with them punching Sarah Silverman, getting jumped in a parking lot brawl, and then the camera pans up and you see the Michael Myers shot of the two bodies on the ground. Then the film ends with them getting in a shootout, damn near dying, but James Caan spared their lives and said till next time. And then camera pans up and you see the Michael Myers shot after the shootout of them lying on the ground in the dirt, and you may think they're dead because they're just laying there, but then Ryan Phillippe's head moves and they're not actually dead. They actually survived the end of this film, I feel. And so that's The Way of the Gun by Christopher McQuarrie in his directorial debut. And this totally showcases his skill set early on, before the Mission Impossible movies, before he got recruited by Tom Cruise. This really showcases Christopher McQuarrie and his sense of style and his sense of unique nature and the kind of stories he can tell. And I can see where his anger comes from, where it's like, you know, you don't want to be typecast into certain situations. Just talk to Tommy Lee Jones. It's a shame that it wasn't accepted by the masses. Probably there's a small percentage of people. Maybe this thing has a cult following. I would assume this movie has a cult following. But it's all good because Christopher McQuarrie's career eventually worked out. He expressed himself with The Way of the Gun. And I enjoyed this film. I think this is a great, fun action thrill ride with interesting characters, with great built suspense, great creational shootouts. It's just phenomenal. It's phenomenal. It's like, yeah, you know, the story, you know, it could have been, you know, a bit less messy, but hey, it's still a fun action extravaganza thrill ride that I would also feel is very cerebral. It's very intelligent. It makes you pay attention to the story, to the film, because all of the twisty turny stuff that will probably give you a headache and make you confused because there's just too much going on. But I enjoy this film for what it is. The Way of the Gun, Christopher McQuarrie, directorial debut. Taboo, mean, vulgar, not for everybody, but it's fun. if you like that kind of stuff. That's all I have to say.